Love is simply one word. It's unspoken. The foundation of life. What is this all about? There is no greater narcotic on this planet. You can line them all up and it won't come close to the dopamine hit that you get from love. Because love don't even have to touch you to make you feel some kind of way special. Welcome to the Art of Love with Dr.O. I'm yours truly, Dr.O. I'm going to be on a mission to love myself. And hopefully, there's somebody else out there in the process of me loving myself that can do the same thing for themselves. And we can share knowledge with each other. We can have steel sharpen steel. And you say to yourself, well, doctor, what is this Dr.O thing about? I see you sitting in the barber chair. Well, historically speaking, there was a time when barbers did more surgeries than doctors did and actually made more money. Surgeries on your knees, surgeries on your legs, bloodletting. They even took it upon themselves to get your mental right. And all of you know that there is no higher psychology than the barber chair, than your cosmetology chair, than your stylist chair, because we know things about our clients that probably no one else knows. And that's just the confidentiality relationship that we have with our clients. So when you see me walking around, I'm actually paying homage to the game. And that is, there was a time when barbers performed surgeries. And as far as the barber pole itself, you know, there was a time during war times and surgeries and different things needed to be done. They used a cloth. They had to bandage you up, and that cloth was white. And of course, there was blood. So you get the red and the white stripe. And where did the blue come from? Well, the blue, that came from the solution to actually clean the bandages. Also, some people feel patriotic about it. Some people may say the blue veins, the veins and all that. Hey, whatever makes you feel good, it's all in the game. It's all the same. It's all love about this game we call the barber game. And remember, tune in to the Art of Love with Dr. O because you're going to get a full taste of what it is to be in this chair. And I'm going to start it off with just loving yourself. I'm on a mission to love myself. I got over 100 pounds to lose. And hopefully, in the process of me just loving myself, I can inspire somebody out there to take a look in the mirror and say, you know what? I see you. I've neglected you. But from this day forward, I'm going to love you. Because remember, you can't love nobody else in your life, not even your kids. I know you think you loving your significant other or your wife, but if you ain't loving yourself, you ain't loving nobody else. And that should be a prerequisite that when you meet somebody, you should ask, are you loving yourself? Well, why would you ask me that? Well, because eventually those words might come out of your mouth. And if it do, I just want the reassurance that you actually know what it means. And how we find out what that means is the love that we actually give ourselves. So you guys tune in every week and you're going to get a nice full plate of just the art of love. We have a special group of people here today on Let's Talk About It. Without further ado, we have the one, the only, Lene.
Hi.
We have Jasmine.
Hey.
And we have the world-renowned legend in the house.
Hey.
Legend, world-renowned legend. In case you guys don't know about legend, if it looks good and that hair is laid to the side,
Period.
laid to the side, then them hands probably might have been on there. Yeah.
Them hands work.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yes. As a matter of fact, we probably will have it to where Legend actually do it live.
Ooh.
Just so you guys can see the magic live. You can see the transformation live. Because I love when Legend does ladies' hair and I see the happiness that they're in, and then the level that he takes them to when he's done.
Wow.
Wow.
Big facts.
We was talking
Thank
about
you.
this on your birthday.
Thank you.
That's
You were?
Remember we were
inspiring.
talking about when do you feel the most beautiful?
Oh yes, after I
Mhm.
have my hair done.
Yes.
For sure.
Period.
For sure.
And what's so crazy, Legend, is that you don't even try.
Mm.
This is just who you are.
Mm.
This is just who you are.
And that's
So, earlier we was watching a little segment, and some comments came up and some questions
Mhm.
came up,
Mhm.
and I asked each one of you to go ahead and write down 3
Yes.
of your own questions that you gathered from watching the little segments that we are showing on a teleprompter right
Mhm.
there. And I'll start off.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'll start off. Does money
Mm.
change the relationship?
Ooh.
It can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can.
Mhm.
It can.
Should it?
In
Certain ways, yes.
I feel like it should, but I mean, I feel like people only look at the negatives that money can change for, but not the good things that things can change. Because you could go from
Right.
being in a relationship, y'all sleeping on the floor, y'all sleeping on mattresses, y'all sleeping in cars, and then this money came, and now y'all are in a better predicament. Y'all are
Mhm.
happier, y'all are more stable. People only look at it as, I guess, because the saying like money is the root of all evil. So people will be like, oh, well, now that this money came, y'all don't love each other no more, or somebody wants somebody else, or somebody want to go get something better, which is not always the case. It can
Facts.
happen for sure.
Yeah.
It for
Yeah.
sure can happen. I'm not
Yeah.
dismissing that, but definitely, yeah, money should change a relationship. It should,
For the
but
better?
for the better,
For the better.
but it can go bad if you let it, because it is money.
Do
Yeah.
you think
Good one.
that if someone is in a predicament where they're financially challenged, that they should subject themselves to abuse just because someone has that over them?
Absolutely
No.
fucking not.
No.
Absolutely not. Abuse is abuse is abuse is abuse.
Mm-hmm.
never okay.
Mhm.
Never the fuck okay. That's out.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
But there are women that do.
Men too?
you said something,
Yes.
Lene,
Mhm.
you said something very important, and that was abuse is abuse.
Mhm.
It doesn't always have to be physical.
Yeah,
Mhm.
of course, it could be mental.
It doesn't even have to be verbal.
Mhm.
It can just be, like you said, Jazz. It can be mental.
Mhm.
That's the worst
Oh.
kind.
That is the word. Once somebody controls you mentally, they have you. Like you're
Mhm.
there. You're in there.
But I have a question. At what point is that your own mental and not the mental of the other person? Because I've been in situations like that too, where it's like, okay, yes, somebody may be doing better than you, and mentally that's messing with you on your own just because what you're insecure about, and not necessarily that person like rubbing in your face or treating you worse or anything like that.
Mm.
They might get the nails, but
Well, let me
Wow.
ask you this.
God.
Let me ask you this. Is it that way because if the roles were flipped, that person would make themselves feel bigger than the other person? Is the anger coming from them not wanting to be in that position? They're not in that position, that they're gonna dish some negativity out?
yeah,
I don't think it's just that one thing solely. I think it could come from a bunch of different things. And when you are an abuser, it doesn't have to just be one single thing that can trigger you to act that way towards your partner. You could be having a bad fucking day and wake up and be like, this is the person that's closest to me. I'm finna do whatever you do.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's just one single thing that will make somebody feel like that. No. It could be
But are
multiple
you
things.
asking like, oh, do they treat somebody else that way because if the roles were flipped, they would do that to them, or are you saying
My point exactly. So you said earlier
Uh-huh.
that, say for example, Legend Road now balling,
Uh-huh.
okay, just money just dropping off of him.
Mhm.
Just
Mhm.
drip, just wet.
Moist.
All of a sudden, Legend pull a convertible Bentley and Taco Bell,
Mhm.
and Lene's there,
Okay.
Mhm.
and there's something about her,
Mhm.
just something about her, and all he want to do is elevate her,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but it's irritating her because she's not financially where he's at.
Mhm.
Now, Does the
That's what I'm saying.
irritation come from, because he's not tripping.
No.
Legend ain't got nothing but loving to
Mm-hmm.
give her,
Mm-hmm.
to educate her, to motivate her, to guide her. But is the irritation coming from that if she was in his position, she would
What's on him?
get her food and not ask for the number?
Oh,
Mm.
yep. I get you. I don't think that's what people think.
Hold on. Get the food
Okay.
and not ask for the number.
Yeah.
Okay? Legend got the food
And that's for
and asked for the number.
Mhm.
Well, now money just convertible.
Yes.
Okay? But it was something about it. Is now they're in a 5-year relationship.
Yeah.
Is the anger coming from she not in his position? Because if she was,
Okay, I think I understand.
she wouldn't have
question.
nothing to do with him. She would
Okay.
pull the convertible Bentley,
And pass them out.
okay, and try and get him fired because gave him some cold fries.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Okay, I mean, I'm just
Not the
saying
fries.
all that to say this. You know, I've talked to a lot of guys at the shop, and they say, well, all right, you know, if Holly Berry worked at Burger King, we'll get at her
Of
because
course.
we'll elevate her. We'll at least get her a job at In-N-Out. See, we'll elevate her. But truth be told,
Mm-hmm.
if some of these entertainers, if the roles was reversed, if just to be honest, and I don't have nothing against nobody,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and I don't know anything about anybody's business to be saying anything,
Mm-hmm.
but there's some entertainers that if the roles were switched, I see some marriages. You guys see some marriage in Hollywood.
Yes.
If that guy was at Burger King, would she get the number?
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Welcome back to the Art of Love with Dr.O. All my love angels out there and everyone tuning in. If this is your first time, you've definitely reached the right place because the universe, our friend, has told you something that you've always wanted to know, and that is, am I really loving myself? Well, you found the right place. You know, last segment we were talking about the leaf, you know, the Dr.O tree of life. Um, if you really apply this tree to your life, it'll fully give you an understanding of what's going on in your life. Remember, just a quick touch up on it. We were talking about the fruit, and that is that which feeds us, what we eat off of after the seeds that we planted in the soil. And the leaf are the influences that we have in our life that's either building us up or breaking us down. Well, you know, that leaf is held by a fig and it can easily be broken. It can easily be broken. You know, just the smallest things of influence, someone in your ear. You know, you can have the perfect relationship with your significant other, and here comes someone just putting themselves in your life just to break your fig. And you have to make sure that you understand the significance of influence. You know, someone telling you things. Is this person telling me things that's going to build me up, or is it telling me things that's going to break me down? You know, and then the branch, what's really holding it out there, you know? This is your family. And even some branches fall off, you know. It's often said enough that blood don't make you family. It should, you know, it should. We would like to believe that it does, but you know, I've seen some situations where I've spoke with some of my clients and they've told me some things that go against someone being your brother or your sister or your mother, your father. And that's what's holding you together, you know. That's what got you out there. That's, you know, your circle. What's inside your circle? Because the older you get, you're gonna be able to count them on less than five. And it's often said that show me who your friends are, and I'll show you who you are. Birds of a feather flock together, you know. Not that it's right or wrong, but often enough, there's some truth to that. And so we come from the fruit that we're feeding off of. We come from the leaf that's being stimulated, you know, from the sun. Who are the influences in our life that we look up to that stimulate us? Is it the stimulation? Are we receiving the stimulation that's going to elevate us, or is it stimulation that's going to be our demise? You know, social media could be a stimulation, and is that elevating you or is it bringing you down? See, the art of love with Dr.O, we're trying to elevate. We're trying to get people to understand there's no greater love than loving thyself. Can't love no one else until you do that. You can't be honest with no one. You know, you can't tell the truth to no one if you can't tell the truth to yourself. You can't be a friend to someone if you can't be a friend to someone else. Can't trust nobody else if you can't trust yourself. Can't believe in nothing. You know, people believe, not that it's wrong. I don't like to step on no toes, but people believe in things in people that they don't even know, you know. But if it's easy for you to believe in someone that you never know, that you probably would never meet, then surely you can believe in yourself. You can trust yourself. But that comes with an apology. Got to look in the mirror and say, I'm sorry. I apologize. I've been neglecting you. I've been putting everybody else's hopes and wants and needs before you. You know, as a man does, a man provides. This is what society says that he should do, and this is what's inside of his soul. But we're second only to the greatest thing that ever came to exist on this planet, and that is a woman. Chauvinistic for a man to think that he's greater than a woman when she carries 9 months to exist on this planet. Your mom wiped your butt 5,000 times and tied your shoes over 1,000 times. She taught you how to walk, talk, eat, everything as a woman. This is the truth that I'm going to bring to you, is the understanding of who we are on this planet and how we need to get back to love. So from that leaf, the fig, the negative whispers in the ear, you have to say to yourself, man, is this guy really telling me that? She really telling me this to help me or to bring me down? And remember, I've spoke to you in a different segment, and I'll go back into it in another, and that is you do have 3 souls inside of you. You have 3 brains inside of you. Your gut, that energy that resides inside your mind, your pineal gland, scientists know that it's here in your gut. Your gut is 70% of your immune system, over 75% of your strength is here. Everything. There's a lot of stuff going on. And when it don't feel right, you get hit in your gut. When you're in love, it's all up in your chest. See? And this is the heaven and the hell, the yin and the yang. And this is the one that makes the decision between the two. See, you hear these voices in your head constantly, but no one ever told you about this. That's what Dr.O is doing right now. I'm telling you the things that people really don't want you to know. You can get a PhD degree in college and they still won't tell you this. And 90 something people on the planet don't even realize this, but I'm giving it to you. Buddhist monks know about chi. They understand the body. Beautiful people. Beautiful. So much to be learned from them. To the branch, your family. Like I said before, blood don't make you family. And a lot of you, when I said that, you might even looked at your sibling in the room sideways. I don't know, but you know, blood don't make you family. So hopefully if you have someone in your family where their blood isn't making them family, have them tune in so they can love themselves and be a better person to love you. Um, Now, the stem. The stem. This is the body of the tree. This is the body of the tree. You know, you can look at a tree and think that, is that an apple tree? Or is that a lemon tree? Huh? Is that a peach tree? Or is that a pear tree? See, we have different preconceived notions of what we would like our lives to be. But irregardless of the fantasies that we have in our head and the thoughts that we have that we would like our lives to be, looking at it, it's going to be what that hand threw in the ground for it to be, and not no fantasy. You know, there's nothing wrong with fantasizing to bring yourselves pleasure. You want to give yourself a little small dopamine hit from fantasizing, ain't nothing wrong with it. But when you think that it's going to be your reality, if you don't plant the seeds for it to be your reality, don't be surprised when it doesn't show up to be that which you thought it was going to be for you. Next week, next segment, we'll get into the trunk. The trunk. I don't want to give you guys too much because I've given you a lot to think about. The fruit, the leaf, the fig, the branch, the stem. Apply these things to anything in your life, and you'll realize one thing. All these things that I'm telling you, it comes back to you. The hand that throws it in the ground. Until next time, you make sure that loving you is a priority thing for you to do. Appreciate you and love you. Welcome back to the Art of Love with Dr.O, and I'm yours truly, Dr.O, the Love Doctor. Got a lot of questions coming in. And all you guys out there, all you love angels out there that want to catch me out there, you can catch me on the Art of Love pod. You can look me up, and any of your questions that you have, you go ahead and send them in to the Art of Love pod, and I'll answer as many of these questions as possible. There's definitely a lot of them, and the ones that I can't get to, I apologize. Hopefully, we can get to it in the next segment on another show, but let's take a look at some of them. We have here Erica from Woodland Hills. What advice will you give a newlywed couple and how to make our marriage last? Well, I would say you have to remember what got you there. You know, a lot of people they start things off, they start the race off strong, but as time goes on, you know, they kind of wither away. And you have to remember there was something special that actually got you to the point to feel as if though, hey, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person. And for men, I really like to give men this advice, and that is that woman that you decided to spend the rest of your life with, she's a beautiful ice sculpture. And the key is to keep her as such a beautiful ice sculpture. But as time goes on, you start to chisel at her with nonsense and things that are not good for the relationship, you know? You chisel at her with trust, dishonesty. You know, she's not feeling as if though you're being honest with her about some things. Um, you're not consistent with doing the things that you say you're gonna do. You know, you started off that way. And that's the reason why she said to herself, I would love to spend the rest of my life with this person. You know, don't don't get sad about it, but a lot of guys out there, they have big egos, but women choose us. We don't choose them. You know, you could have 14 helicopters, 3 islands, and 20 mansions and 1,000 cars. If she don't want to be with you, she's not going to be with you. But if she chooses to, the key is to make sure you don't chisel at her with nonsense, because if you do, eventually that eye sculpture that you fell in love with isn't going to look the same. And along with it not looking the same, it's not going to act the same. So if you can, keep things cool, copacetic. That circle that you had to get you across the altar, across the broom, to jump over that broom, that circle, that friendship, the close relationship that you had with positive people. You definitely want to keep positive people in your life. And also, don't take advice from someone who's not in somewhat of the same relationship that you're in. If you getting advice from uh, a lady and she's telling you, yeah, my man is very happy. Well, you need to speak to her husband. You just can't let somebody tell you that they're making someone happy and this is what you should do. You should speak to them as a couple, because she's giving you advice for your relationship to work as a couple. Then you need to make sure as a couple, both of them are there to give you the same advice and that they're positive people. But um, you got there. And I always tell people that understand the magnitude of the existence of you two coming together. I'm going to reach, but it's going to be self-explanatory. You have to think about that. In this universe, a lot of events transpired, you know, planets collided. I love science. I love science, uh, novas became supernovas and rebirthed new galaxies, and wars were forged on this planet. And a lot of things transpired just for you two. All the years in front of you have yet to come, but the years behind you, they had to happen just for you guys to meet each other. When you understand the magnitude that this universe gave you a gift, and that gift is you guys loving each other, then you won't so easily allow things to come between that. It's no coincidence that you guys have met, and you have to realize that you have something that most people don't have and most people wish they had. And you said, till death do you part, for better or for worse. That's not something to take lightly. You know, if you say it, then mean it. Allow the foundation of your relationship to be honesty, because that's all you have is honesty. That's the foundation that allows any relationship to stay strong, along with communication. So, congratulations. Um, Keep your circle tight and positive, and make sure you don't chisel at her with nonsense. And appreciate your man, because when God gives you a gift, when the universe gives you a gift, the odds of you finding another good person, it's just not in this lifetime. So it's not something to take lightly. But once again, congratulations. And I see nothing but good things coming from you by you just communicating with each other and how you started it off. Try your best to keep it that way. And we have Tammy from Arizona. What type of outlets or family activities can our family make sure so my family can do to make sure that we stay engaged in quality time? So she's asking me, what type of family activities can we do as a family to make sure that our family stay engaged in quality time? Well, I would say you and your husband get together, get the kids, and you hop in the SUV and you go straight to Home Depot. Buy yourself a lawnmower and a weed whacker and put them out there in the yard and put them to work. Nothing like good old hard quality family time. No. The kids, I'm sure, would be like, what? That ain't quality time? I know. But I would encourage you to try and find things that you can do that are free. There was a time when just going to the park with my family as a kid, it was amazing. Just going to Huntington Beach, you know, was just amazing. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Kids just really want you. Those are some of the best memories that you ever have is the simplicity, the simple things that you do. Don't cause a lot of stress in your family trying to please the family, you know. So I would say if they don't want to go to Home Depot and get those lawnmowers or those weed whackers, that just keep it simple, and that should be more than enough quality time for you guys to have a great time with each other. I have Dewan from Compton. Uh, I know my wife loves me, but why does she like to fuss about all the little things that I do? She says she loves me, but why is she always fussing about every little thing? I leave a fork inside the sink. I can't have some cereal and milk and watch the game. And what? I just finished. I can't finish watching the game before I gotta clean the clean the bowl. I mean, really, why is the little things? Well, I'll say this, and this is just from experience, and that is, gentlemen, listen up. You really don't have problems in your relationship as long as the woman that loves you is fussing about you. You don't have problems until she stopped fussing. If she stopped fussing, that's when you got problems. That's when you seriously got some problems, because ladies won't tell you this little secret. Ladies, don't get mad at me. Don't come looking for me. But ladies won't tell you this little secret. But when a lady chooses to break up with you, she already broke up with you 6 months ago. She's just trying to figure out if it's worth it to stay or should she go. And some days are better than others, and she's just putting it on the scale. And eventually, she'll walk away. But as long as she's fussing, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Hopefully, we've got through enough of these Ask Dr. O questions. Remember, you can find me at the Art of Love Pod and ask me any other questions that you would like. As for the future, tune in. I look forward to hearing from you, and all my love angels out there. I appreciate you. Continue to bring more angels into our family. And remember, until next time, you make sure that loving you is a priority thing for you to do.